We're embarking on a flight of fancy. Like the Guinness Book of Records, we're in search of the remarkable, the biggest, the hottest, the coldest, the farthest, the superlatives of the solar system. Record number 1. Earth has the biggest living entity in the solar system. Off northeastern Australia, the coral of the Great Barrier Reef. Beyond that, our planet is short on records. Of course, where India leans into Asia, we have the mighty Himalayas. Everest, at over 29,000 feet, is the tallest mountain on Earth. Unfortunately, the powerful gravity of our planet stunts mountains. An earthly edifice 5.5 miles high is a foothill on Mars. This Martian peak is nearly 3 times as tall as Everest. Even our moon is modest. Jupiter's Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, the size of a planet, bigger than Pluto and Mercury. America's pride, the Grand Canyon. At its deepest, the walls tower a mile high. Peanuts. On Miranda, an ice moon of Uranus, there are cliffs 12 miles high. Planet Earth has one moon. Giant Saturn has trillions of moonlets. Elsewhere, there are volcanoes bigger than Texas, geysers blasting higher than Everest, and storms that could eat our planet for breakfast. The highest temperature recorded on Earth is 136 degrees Fahrenheit. The measurement was made in Libya. Hot, but almost frigid compared to the source of that heat, the sun. The sun is a star, a nuclear furnace hotter than anything else in the solar system. At its core, where fusion takes place, it's 25 million degrees. But at the surface, just 10,000 degrees. And in a sunspot, only 8,000 degrees. Yet somehow, and no one knows why, temperatures soar again in the solar atmosphere, the corona. They hit over 3 million degrees. Little bigger than our moon, Mercury orbits nearest the sun. It may be scorched and irradiated, but it's not the hottest planet. Surprising, since by day, temperatures here exceed 800 degrees. But we know little of Mercury, and the only detailed pictures date from the 70s. They show an ancient and barren world, airless and heavily cratered. Why so many craters? The sun, of course. Like a magnet, its powerful gravity attracts debris from space. With Mercury in the line of fire, the tiny planet takes a lot of hits. Sunup on Mercury is the strangest in the solar system. In some places, the sun seems to bounce like a beach ball. It has to do with the variable rate of Mercury's rotation. No sooner does the sun disappear than it's up again. Now there's a new puzzle. Using radar from Earth, Mercury's too close to the sun for good optical observation, astronomers have found bright spots at the poles. They think it's ice. But ice so near the sun? Possibly, because at night, temperatures dip below -300 degrees. With the poles in perpetual darkness, ice from ancient comets may survive. Paradoxically, we must journey farther from the sun to find the hottest planet. The record belongs to Venus, in size, the twin of Earth. But Venus is a twin from hell. It's an inferno where the heat of the sun is trapped in an atmosphere 90 times denser than Earth's. Wherever you go, day or night, the temperature's the same, a scorching 900 degrees.
Wonders of the Universe will continue on TLC. Wonders of the Universe continues on TLC.
The contest for the greatest hit. Size for size, which body in the solar system has taken the biggest whack? When 19th century illustrators drew the moon, they imagined lofty mountains. They imposed the geology of Earth, great ridges and escarpments. As American astronauts discovered, the reality was blander. There are peaks higher than Everest and craters galore, but they seem rounded and squat. In part, it's because the moon is a little world. Surface features don't have to be far away before they curve over the horizon. Nevertheless, this crater is impressive. It's the Orientale Impact Basin, 580 miles across. Mercury is the site of a similar hit. Highlighted in color, it's called the Caloris Basin, 800 miles wide, but still no record breaker. Jupiter's Callisto doesn't win either, even with a basin 1,900 miles wide. The prize goes to Mimas, a tiny moon of Saturn. The crater is just 80 miles wide, but it's a third the diameter of Mimas. Saturn itself wins every beauty contest with its fabulous rings. Close up, the rings are tiny moonlets, trillions of them. In stately unison, they orbit the great planet. Lumps of icy rock, they range in size from grains of sand to chunks as big as houses. We've known about the rings for centuries, but until the Voyager probes of the early 80s, astronomers believed there were only half a dozen rings. Using a background star as reference, Voyager counted them. There were 7 main bands comprising hundreds of rings. They're thought to be the debris of shattered moons. Indeed, it's amazing that Mimas didn't join them. Had the missile that dug its crater been much bigger, Mimas would have been pulverized. On to another record-breaking satellite. Io is one of 16 moons held captive by the Colossus of Jupiter. Io throws tantrums. Volcanoes blast sulfurous gases 180 miles high. Io is the most active volcanic body in the solar system. But the biggest volcano is on Mars, although long since quiet, Olympus Mons. Here, in computer enhancement, it rises 15.5 miles from the surrounding plain. It would cover the state of Colorado. Olympus Mons is one of nearly a score of enormous Martian volcanoes, relics of an exciting past. They poured sulfurous gases into an atmosphere many times thicker than today's. Mars was once a planet of weather, water, and possibly, who knows, of life. The triple volcanoes of Tharsis. We're skimming over Mars. Wisps of cloud lurk in hollows and canyons. Mars is barren and cold. With luck, the temperature might top 75 degrees at the equator in summer. A buzz along Mariner Valley, a rift so big it would span the United States from coast to coast. And there's Arcia, the southern triplet of Tharsis. Pavonis and Ascrius. Gigantic volcanoes, a snapshot for the album, especially if you can frame them with the walls of Mariner Valley. But for walls to end walls, we must journey to Miranda. These ice cliffs are 12 miles high. Leap from the top in the weak gravity here, and you won't hit bottom for 12.5 minutes. For winter sports, Miranda may be the Alps and Rockies of the future. This tiny moon is almost completely ice. It's like a shattered sphere that's been reassembled in a hurry. If you're passing Uranus, it's worth a stop.
Wonders of the Universe will continue on TLC. Wonders of the Universe continues on TLC.
Where's the worst weather in the solar system? To have weather, of course, you need an atmosphere. Tranquil as it may look, the red planet is a candidate. A Martian dawn. In 1976, America soft-landed 2 space probes on the planet, and this is what they saw. A lifeless desert, rusted red by iron oxide. Midday temperature, minus 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Atmosphere, carbon dioxide, less than 1% of Earth's. What they didn't see were the great dust storms that blow up. So big, they can be filmed from Earth as they envelop all of Mars. Storms of another kind are more common on Earth, but they're not record breakers. Not even the mysterious sprites recorded recently streaking high into the atmosphere. For real weather, we need a giant planet. When Voyager scanned Saturn, it had to focus through a smog that all but obscured the weather. In a wide shot, the weather belts are just discernible, plus 3 of Saturn's moons. The belts are streams of clouds, mostly blowing eastward around the planet. A white spot just visible in the upper right is a storm the size of Europe. Through a false color filter, we see another storm. It's the dark spot below the yellow band. This Voyager close-up shows the storm with a pair of smaller blow-ups. And here, the thin wavy line of a jet stream, the sort we get in the upper atmosphere of the Earth. On Saturn, they blow at over 1,000 miles an hour, 5 times faster than on Earth. These pictures show the ultimate in Saturnian weather, a storm that gathers once in 30 years. It happens when Saturn's closest to the Sun, the Great Ammonia Blizzard. At its height, it girdles the equator. Farther out, when Voyager had Neptune in its sights, there was even worse weather. The upper cloud was benign, but Neptune generates more heat than it absorbs. The result is dynamic weather and storms like the Wizard's Eye. And upward from the eye, the great dark spot, a tempest the size of Earth. Voyager made time-lapse images of the spot. Around it, gales blow at 1,200 miles an hour, the fastest in the solar system. Mysteriously, by 1994, the spot disappeared. Some astronomers speculate that it wasn't a storm, but the site of an impact from space, a scar that healed.
Wonders of the Universe will continue on TLC. Wonders of the Universe continues on TLC.
For the biggest storms, we drop in on the biggest planet, Jupiter. Jupiter seethes with weather, driven from within by the planet's own heat. This is the mother of all storms, the Great Red Spot. It's over twice the size of Earth. It's been raging for at least 350 years. The red spot is a whirlwind of high pressure. But how did it form? A weather band simulated on computer shows how several storms chasing one another around the planet can eventually merge into a single system, a storm like the red spot. One reason for Jupiter's turbulent weather is the speed of the planet's rotation. A day here lasts less than 10 hours. The largest planet has the shortest day. Tiny Mercury, by contrast, spins so slowly that its day is 2/3 of its year. On Venus, a day is longer than a year. To turn once on its axis takes Venus longer than its orbit of the Sun. A day on Halley's Comet can last over 7 Earth days, but its year is 3/4 of a century. A day on our moon is just over 27 Earth days, virtually a month. A month, that's where we get the name from. It's also the time it takes the moon to orbit our planet. That's true for the moons of Jupiter. Indeed, for all moons, a moon day equals one orbit of the parent planet. Ganymede is the biggest moon in the solar system. It's a satellite of Jupiter. At nearly 3,300 miles across, Ganymede is larger than Pluto and Mercury. The smallest satellite is Dactyl, a rock less than a mile across that orbits not a planet, but an asteroid named Ida. The smallest planet is Pluto. Just half the width of the United States, Pluto tumbles through the outer realms with its companion world, Charon. Jupiter, of course, is the biggest planet, so immense that the Earth would fit inside it more than 1,300 times. The largest object in the solar system is the Sun. Spanning 865,000 miles, it would take more than 1 million Earths to fill it. Yet a tiny chunk of ice can spread itself even wider. As a comet nears the Sun, it sheds a tail of dust and gas that can stretch more than 100 million miles across space. But this is the prize of the solar system. By leaving our planet, we appreciate it more. Our Earth is the ultimate superlative. From our seas emerged life, a chemical accident seemingly denied elsewhere. That life has spawned humankind, a species unique in developing thought, the very epitome of a superlative.